Hey there, everyone. Today I'm going to be coming at you with an election prediction for the 2020 presidential election. This is a fairly simple one between Joe Biden and incumbent President Donald Trump. Now, Joe Biden is widely considered right now to be the front runner in the 2020 election for the Democratic nomination, should he actually run. Now, personally, I don't really want Joe to run. I believe there are much better candidates. It's not so much that Joe Biden wouldn't be a good president, it's just at this point, I feel like we need to start moving towards something else besides what has been in the Democratic past over the past 10, 15 years. The Democrats are looking towards new leadership, and I just don't feel like Joe Biden is the best choice that we could have. He'd make a good president, yeah, but at the same time, there are plenty of candidates who would make a good president. So, right now, it's just going to be a quick which states would Joe win, which would he lose. Basically, you've all seen these videos before. So, I feel like we can safely rule out which ones are going to go for the Republicans, and that's basically Idaho, Wyoming, Utah, North and South Dakota, Nebraska, if I can get it. I'll leave the 2nd congressional district open for now, but Kansas, Oklahoma, Alaska, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, South Carolina, and I believe that's all for the solid Republican states. Just let me take a sec. Yeah, I believe that I believe that these are the seats or the states that Trump will easily win in 2020. Now, for the Democratic seats or states, I keep saying seats, I don't know why, but fairly simple to say is like Washington, Oregon, Cali, Hawaii, anything else, New York, Vermont, not you, New Hampshire, go away. Oh my god, I hate this. Massachusetts, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, DC, and Illinois. These are all the states that are definitely going to vote the way that they are now. And I forgot to put Montana under red. I don't know why. Montana did almost go for Obama in 2008, but has been nowhere near then since. So Montana, solid red. Sorry if I confused anybody. Now, I'm going to start kind of by working my way towards the more battleground states right now. So, just a couple states that I'm going to pick out that Joe Biden is not going to win. It's going to be like Missouri. I don't believe Joe's going to win Missouri or Texas. Definitely not Indiana. I don't believe he'll win North Carolina or Georgia. If Joe picks the right vice presidential candidate, he could have a chance at winning in Georgia and maybe North Carolina and also maybe Arizona. But this is kind of just based off of Joe and your generic candidate. Now, let's say Joe were to pick like someone with a very strong Latino background who's from Arizona, New Mexico, Southern California. He'd have a pretty good chance of winning Arizona. But right now, I'm basing his vice presidential candidate as just being a generic Democrat. So, now onto blue seats that I think that Joe could easily win. It's like Minnesota. Minnesota was a lot closer for Trump than it really should have been. But I believe Joe will do good when it comes to winning that again. I believe he'll also win Michigan in a flip. Michigan was really close, barely went for Trump, but I feel like because Joe Biden has a very strong middle working class feel to him, and in the sense that a lot of people, a lot of Democrats in the Rust Belt really trust him. He came out, he campaigned for Conor Lamb in the Pennsylvania special election, and that really helped Lamb. So I believe places like Michigan, having Joe Biden is really going to help. I also believe Joe will win Colorado fairly easily, and definitely New Mexico. Honestly, New Mexico at this point, I feel like you could just add to safe Democrat. I believe he will also win Maine. I'm going to keep its 2nd congressional district open because that did go for Trump by a very large margin. He's also going to win Virginia. So basically at this point, it's looking very similar to how Hillary did, except Joe's going to win Michigan. Now, I'm going to add some Republican seats. I don't believe Joe is going to pick up the 2nd congressional district of Nebraska at all. I also don't believe Joe's going to win Ohio, despite the fact that Joe does really well with working class Americans. I don't believe he's going to be able to pick up Ohio. Ohio's going to be closer than it was in 2016, but I don't believe it's going to go all the way. Also, I don't believe Joe's going to win Florida. This is just going to be another hot, contentious thing where I believe the reason why Florida goes to Trump is mainly because he's the incumbent, and incumbents tend to do better. Now, a seat that Joe's going to pick up, I believe he will pick up Nevada and New Hampshire. These are 2 states that are fairly close, but I believe Joe will do fairly well in both. I don't believe, however, that he will win Maine's 2nd congressional district. So, that leaves 3 states. These 3 states, well, actually, mainly Pennsylvania is going to decide everything, but Wisconsin and Iowa are very important right now. Because remember, Obama carried Iowa, but Trump carried Iowa in 2016. So, how is Joe Biden going to do? Even though Joe Biden does really well with Iowans, I believe that's the plural of peoples from Iowa, I do believe Iowa's going to go for Donald Trump. However, I believe that Wisconsin will go for Joe Biden. Now, here's the big kicker. What does Pennsylvania do? I believe that Pennsylvania will be probably the most looked at state in the 2020 presidential election, because Pennsylvania, many thought it was safe Democratic, but it went for Trump. So, what's going to happen? I do believe that Pennsylvania will go for Joe Biden. I do believe that Joe Biden does have a legitimate chance to beat Donald Trump in 2020. At this point, he does look like the best chance that the Democrats have. But like I said earlier, I believe that there are other candidates who can also do it as well. Now, seats that I do think that Joe Biden could actually win are like Iowa, Ohio, Florida, and maybe Arizona if he picks the right VP. Those are seats I believe that he could end up flipping toward himself, whereas Trump, I believe, could still win Wisconsin. I believe he could even win Nevada. He could keep Pennsylvania. I believe he has a better chance of keeping Pennsylvania than he does Michigan, but he could even keep Michigan. Heck, he could probably even win New Hampshire if they tried really hard enough. But at this point, this is what I believe is going to happen in the 2020 election. As of right now, how it kind of looks, how way things are going. Now, of course, if Trump faces things like impeachment hearings and stuff, it's going to be a way different race than this. But let's say everything kind of just goes smoothly for Trump and nothing really changes between now and then. This is about how it will look. Okay, well, thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. I hope to come out with more of these videos. They're really easy to make. So I hope to do more, and thanks for watching.